It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
It's 1:05 p.m., broadcasting live from our studios in downtown Nashville, just a stone's throw from the Tennessee State Capitol. In studio, the original All-Star panelist, Carmichael Crom. You know, we're just adding these irregular segments to the show. We've got, at 1:30, we go through election college roulette, right?
Yes.
We've got the occasional signs of the times that we do.
Yes.
Now we've just got the tight 2 minutes. And then, of course, we have Blue State Blues, right?
Yes. Well, a
Another
lot of those, by the way.
Another irregular segment of the program. But we have a regular segment. We have a daily regular segment that we do at 11:05 every day, the morning rundown. And then every Friday at 1 p.m., we have something called the Commentary.
Yeah.
The Commentary, of course, is brought to you by the Glock Store at 1930 Airlane Drive right here in Nashville. It is a place to go if you want to buy a gun or learn how to use a gun. And so, Crom, do you have a commentary for us today?
Michael, I do.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here is the commentary for Friday, May 17th, 2024.
Michael, you know, we talk a lot about how we have two different standards of government and two different ways that we treat people in this country. And the left thinks that they have the right to do whatever they want to do, and in whatever manner they want to say anything, to be violent, to do encampments, to take over buildings, and they say they have the right to do these things. Okay, well, and then the media talks about the right to protest and the right to this and the right to that. Okay, Harrison Butker, the place kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, is a great place kicker, by the way. He's got 3 Super Bowl rings, and I would say that they won at least 2 of those 3 Super Bowls because this guy could flat kick field goals from a long way. And but he also, unbeknownst to me, is a devout Catholic, and he gave a commencement speech, which, by the way, he got a standing ovation at the end of his commencement speech, and his commencement speech was about values. And here's something that he said in the commencement speech, and I'm quoting here: "Bad policies and poor leadership have negatively impacted major life issues. Things like abortion, IVB, surrogacy, euthanasia, as well as a growing support for degenerate cultural values and media all stem from pervasiveness of disorder." Now, he went on to talk about how our country's culture and its values are under attack by people who want to destroy our country. And for that, the left has denounced him and wants him to be fired from the Kansas City Chiefs. Please, Titans, be listening. If he does get fired, please pick him up here. But at any rate, what you have here is the left here. What has Butker done? He's given a talk. He has said words. That's all he's done. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, or freedom of speech is clearly protected in the Constitution. These people want government agencies to attack him, want the Kansas City Chiefs to attack him. The NFL has tried to disown him and separate themselves from his comments, which I find just fascinating. But this is a big moment. I mean, this is a little bit like Kaepernick's kneeling, but this is the opposite. This is now somebody who is just merely given a commencement speech, standing up for not just American values. These are regular values. These are human rights values that have been in our country and Western civilization for 250 years, and it is and the fact that the left wants to have him punished for exercising a right to express an opinion is very telling. And this and by the way, you know, we have small victories here and there, but the left is undeterred by the small victories because so far they have felt no pain for their irresponsible behavior and their irresponsible. Well, I'm going to just leave it at that. Their irresponsible behavior. They don't think they should be held accountable for their actions. And under the Biden administration, they're not held accountable for their actions. But now they're trying to say that other people have no rights at all if it offends their sensibilities.
Well said. And that is the commentary for Friday, May 17th, 2024. A couple little caveats on that, Crom, little additions. I think you're spot on. And this Harrison Butker is he's a graduate of Georgia Tech.
Okay.
From Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech.
Okay.
And it's great to see somebody who stands up for their faith and their cultural values.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
you saw Lawrence Taylor stand up too. The left isn't attacking Lawrence Taylor. I mean,
yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
He's for,
Yeah.
but here's the thing I wanted to add to this. I don't know if you saw this, but it's relevant. The NFL has admitted that it has altered its schedule of games in 2024 to accommodate something. What do you think they're accommodating?
What?
Oh, come on, you know.
The election?
No,
The debates?
no.
Okay.
Good try.
All right. What?
Taylor Swift's concert schedule.
Oh, jeez.
Really?
You're kidding me.
I am.
How
I
do
am
you alter,
not
all right,
kidding
now,
you.
Now, how do you alter? What do you? I mean, they're still going to play games every week.
What you'd give is, when do the Kansas City Chiefs play? They will only play. They're maximizing the opportunities for Taylor Swift.
Oh, jeez.
They're going to have a Kansas City Chiefs game on it at maximum number of times when she's able to make it.
Okay. All right. Well, I read my social media that that is a complete. That relationship is a complete.
It might
fake.
be
Complete
but
fake.
they somehow.
We'll see. We'll
seem
see
to
if
think-
that does thing. But let me just read, if I could, what the left has said in getting a petition to try to have him fired from his job.
Yeah.
They're trying. This is what they say: the harmful remarks from Harrison Butker, kicker of the Kansas City Chiefs, during his commencement address at Benedictine College was unacceptable. His comments were sexist, homophobic, anti-trans, and anti-abortion and racist. These dehumanizing remarks against LGBTQ plus individuals, attacks on abortion rights, and racial discrimination perpetuate division and undermine human rights. Well, isn't freedom of speech a human right? Isn't freedom of thought a human right? And these people think that they have a monopoly on what thought can be. And by the way, that's what true fascists do. That's what true Nazis do. Is they want to control every aspect of society and individuals. And so that's why I'm saying that this is really bad, and it's only going to get worse until there's accountability restored.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I can't.
But that thing at some point the Taylor Swift thing.
It's going to go away.
Is going to go away. Yeah,
think?
I mean, I listen. I get it. She's a great entertainer. She's very clever in her business. I'd be astounded if she decides to pick a candidate if it's between the two candidates who are currently running. I don't think she'll support Biden.
Well,
I just
we'll
don't.
see.
I don't think she will. Now, I'm not. I think this June 27th debate.
No, hold the fire on that.
Oh, excuse me.
Because
All
we'll
right.
come back.
Ow.
Yeah, we've got an idea. But as you wait on that one, we'll play a clip from Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh.
He put on, like you do, he put on his Nostradamus cap.
Good.
On Fox News, and he has a word to say about that.
He
but
looks better in his cap than I do in mine. But go ahead.
this is apropos only of sports.
Okay.
You're a big golf guy, right?
Yes.
Did you see what happened in Louisville this morning?
Oh gosh.
So Scotty Scheffler is competing in the second round this morning of the PGA tournament up in Louisville. And apparently there was some kerfuffle with the local police there. They say he ran a stoplight, or he didn't stop for them enough. And he got into a kerfuffle. They arrested him.
Did he get to play?
He's playing now.
He's playing, okay.
Apparently he started off the second round pretty well. Maybe he got a little energy going.
Okay.
Who would you not want to be? I think I would not want to be the police officer that arrested him.
Well, I mean, there had to be more than one.
Yeah.
involved in the.
It's a weird story.
Yeah, it really is. That is weird.
It's almost as if they decided to have a House Oversight Committee hearing in Louisville early this morning.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Crom, when we come back, Vivek Ramaswamy puts on his Nostradamus cap about these upcoming presidential debates. Back after this.
Hi folks, John Fredericks here for Freedom Alliance. Veterans are still struggling with the wounds of war. They came home with injuries that changed them forever. The flag-burning troublemakers in our streets remind me how fortunate we are to have patriots who served and fought, sacrificed, and never complained. We need to support them through organizations like the Freedom Alliance. It's Military Appreciation Month and time to support those who serve. Freedom Alliance is caring for combat veterans and military families. Combat veterans fought in the worst, most dangerous places on earth. Freedom Alliance takes them to nature's most relaxing locations so they can heal. Freedom Alliance gives injured troops mortgage-free homes, new cars, and all-terrain wheelchairs. For wounded vets, there's nothing like the stability of your own home, the reinsurance of a reliable vehicle, or the independence of a wheelchair that navigates snow, ice, beach, pasture, or most any terrain. Let's fight for those who fought for us. Go to freedomalliance.org/Godzilla and make a monthly gift that will improve the life of a military hero. That's freedomalliance.org/Godzilla. Make a contribution today.
If you're like me, most moms find it difficult to prioritize self-care. Hi, it's Colleen, Program Director at the John Fredericks Media Network. With the demands of programming 13 radio stations, it's easy to forget about the things I should do for myself daily. And that's why I started with our company's Women's Challenge with Native Path Collagen Peptides. It's affordable and convenient care in just one scoop a day. There are so many incredible health benefits like bone and joint support, metabolism booster, and hair, skin, and nail improvement. I like to take a moment each day to prioritize myself and indulge in the health-boosting benefits of Native Path Collagen Peptides. I love mixing it up with all the different smoothie recipes, too. Learn more about Native Path Collagen Peptides and read 7 important reasons why you should be taking collagen peptides at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Prioritize your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today and get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
Target.com. Target.com is an online e-commerce tire retailer. We are here to serve the American public with the best possible customer service, the best pricing, and we make it extremely easy. We have many name brands and a lot of low-cost tires. The price is right, and it's easy. You go online to Target.com, Tireget.com, Target.com. You go there, you put your zip code in, all the inventory displays right in front of you. You can call in for help if you want to. We'll help you get the tire that you need. But we will take the tires you buy and at no extra charge deliver them to the dealer right by your house where they will be installed at the market price. It's easy. The best price, the best service. Great people to deal with. Thank you for going to Target.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
1:19 p.m. broadcasting live from our studios in downtown Nashville. Original also panelist Carmichael Crum. You had some thoughts about the June 27th CNN debate and the September 10th ABC debate. Before we get to that, Vivek Ramaswamy, our buddy Vivek, ran for president, very accomplished guy. He'd been a Trump surrogate, been mentioned by some as a Trump VP.
Okay.
I don't think he's at the top of the list right now, but he's very articulate. So he was on Fox News, and he has a particular theory that he wants to share, and I want to play his theory about what's really going on here with this effort by Biden to debate Donald Trump on CNN. So, without further ado, here we go.
Vivek, you say this might be a setup. Why?
Yeah, I believe it is a setup, Laura, and here's how it's working. Why did Biden pull this 180 all of a sudden, and why did the Democrats let him do it? Let's put together some facts here. On one hand, CNN is hosting it. They're going to prop up Biden, try to make him look as good as possible. But also note, this is the earliest ever presidential debate in recorded American history, in June. Why is that? This is a Hail Mary attempt for Biden as his numbers are tanking. This is their last chance to give him a desperate attempt to succeed. And if he doesn't, as I expect will be the case, that gives them enough time to swap out somebody else for the nomination. That's what's going on. Set him up for the best possible look you can give him. It's not a neutral forum. It's CNN. Do the 180 as he's tanking. But if he fails, they have enough time to prop up a new puppet. That's what I think is going on.
Well, that's Vivek wearing his Nostradamus cap. You've got some thoughts on this, Crom?
Well, now, Michael, if Vivek is right, then is it fair to say that many months ago, when I predicted that Biden would not be the Democrat nominee, if Vivek is right, does that mean I was right?
It would.
It would mean that.
Would mean
wouldn't
that.
it? Yeah. I mean, it'd be difficult to deny me.
I would never deny you the truth.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Now, having said that, let me lay out what I think happened, and then you tell me if that is accurate, because it's important that what I think did happen for my conclusion, and that is this: that Biden and Biden's people got with CNN and set a date and set a place to have a debate with Trump, and they agreed, and so CNN and Biden and Biden's people agreed.
They got a deal together to benefit Biden, particularly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and CNN's going to benefit because they'll get a large audience. Okay. And
it'll be the first time in years. But go ahead.
Be a large audience. And so what I'm saying is that that's all that happened before Biden issued his challenge.
They didn't talk to Trump.
They didn't talk to Trump.
No.
But Biden then issues his challenge, and we have a video of the challenge. Okay?
Yeah, and it was pretty nasty in the sense that, at the very end,
yeah,
I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Right.
Referencing, of course, the hush money trial that Joe Biden set up.
Yeah, and then he says to make my day, which is plagiarizing Clint Eastwood, who was plagiarized by George H.W. Bush. So it's a very tired thing. But at any rate,
tired.
At any rate, so that's all that happened, and then Trump accepted
within 15 minutes.
Accepted the offer. Am I accurate that is?
I believe that is exactly what happened.
Okay, if that is what happened, when Biden made his publicly made his challenge, Biden set no rules other than there would be a debate at CNN. So Trump has now accepted that there'll be a debate. Trump doesn't have to agree to any rules. He can say, I'm going to show up and debate, and I'm going to debate on the way I want to.
There's one little caveat.
Please, go ahead.
So, number one, which I don't think this is a big deal, no studio audience, right?
Fine.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Trump can't control that.
Well, but the other point is, if you look at the pantheon of televised presidential debates, the very first one, series of 3, between Nixon and John F. Kennedy, was in studio, no audience.
Okay.
It's a pretty good debate.
Yeah, I don't think whether there's an audience or not matters. What I think matters is whether or not Trump has to answer the questions that are asked.
So,
and he can just say, "Look, Jake, or whoever the person is, that's the moderator said, when I accepted the debate, I didn't accept the debate to answer your questions. You give me my time, my allotted time, and I'll use that time as I see fit."
Here we go. One little twist on this, because it's CNN. And Jake Tapper is a moderator. He hates Donald Trump.
Yeah, he does. That's the point.
Dana Bash hates Donald Trump. Even there's only one person in the world who I think hates Donald Trump more than Dana Bash does.
Who?
Mika Brzezinski.
Well, I don't know. Michael Cohen's right up there.
Michael Cohen.
But they're all the same. They're all the same.
Yeah.
You can put them all in the same boat.
So here's the one caveat.
Yeah.
And the potential problem that Trump may face, apparently there's been some other description of kind of the rules of the game here, right?
What rules?
I'm just telling you what I've been reporting.
Yeah, yeah.
That CNN has said that they will mute microphones at their decision, right? Now, I don't know if Trump has agreed to that, but I've seen reports that that's...
Well, Trump won't agree to that.
I don't think that's true. I think what I'm telling you is they may have asserted that, and I've seen some reports that say Trump said that's fine. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
But my point is, though, to me, I've heard some people say, oh, Trump is walking into the left-wing lines. And, well, of course he is. But I think your point is correct. The only the questions will be biased.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be terrible. Trump doesn't have to answer those questions.
No.
The only if the muting of microphones is part of the game plan by CNN, and Jake Tapper asks Trump a certain question, and Trump doesn't answer that question and goes off on whatever he wants, you see the tactical element of it might be CNN will cut his microphone off.
Well, if they do that, that would backfire tremendously.
I think you're probably right.
That would be backfiring, because then the next time Trump says, so I only get to talk if I say what you want me to say. Why don't you just say it for me? Why don't you move your chairs over there next to Joe Biden and let's just debate all three of you at one time?
The other thing, too, is, okay, now Donald Trump is not calling me up for advice.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So what I would say is the main theme on this is Trump should be direct and presidential and aggressive, but in a particular way.
Okay.
And in focus on the disaster that Biden has been policy-wise.
I agree.
Focus on that.
I agree. Well,
right?
but I agree with you completely. But if CNN's moderators ask questions about Stormy Daniels on January 6th,
of course they will.
And that's all. Well, and that's all they do.
That's all they will do.
All right. Then Trump has to say, I don't think that's the right question, and I'm going to answer the one that I
agree.
Then they can either turn him off,
right,
or he can be presidential,
right.
and CNN now will have a choice of coming across as incredibly biased. In which case,
they've already made that choice.
No, they haven't.
No. They've got 20 years of making that choice.
I got that, but I'm talking about when Sean Hannity, moderated between DeSantis and Gavin Newsom, Sean Hannity went out of his way to try to be even-handed.
Right.
Now, in that case, it's pretty easy because DeSantis has all the facts on his side, and Gavin Newsom can only make points that aren't true.
My suggestion, though, to Trump on this is don't whine about it.
He won't.
Just go up there and be presidential and be direct and be forceful.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And then if they keep turning his mic off, I'm saying if they keep turning his mic off because he won't respond to questions that he
We got a minute on this. I want to ask you one thing.
Please.
September 10th, ABC News is going to sponsor a debate.
Yeah.
Will George Stephanopoulos, who is now being sued by Trump for defamation, Trump's probably going to win that, will George Stephanopoulos be the moderator of that debate?
That's a great question, and because we don't know who the Democrat will be in that debate, because that'll be after the Democrats' convention.
And it almost doesn't matter. It sort of does.
Oh,
today.
Well, for your question, as somebody who's in the middle of a lawsuit for defaming, one of the two. You would think that
You would think
that ABC would have enough.
You would
brains.
also think that Judge Merchan would have recused himself in New York, but he didn't.
That's right.
They'll apply the Judge Merchan standard of recusal.
Yeah.
When we come back, it'll be time for Electoral College Roulette.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. There we go. you about an event. It's the Glock Store's 4th annual open house, June 1st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, the Glock Store is where I bought my Glock and where Crom and I train. They have great raffle bags. Last year, they gave away over $9,000 worth of top-shelf gear like Vortex scopes and Holosun Red Dot optics. Most bags are worth a few $100s, some a lot more. Hey, and there's shooting competitions with really nice prizes. Last year, the winner on the Fast and Accurate stage won a free Glock. And speaking of a free Glock, they also give one away that day to some lucky attendee. You don't have to be present to win. Just show up to enter. There'll be factory reps there demoing all the latest gear from all the top brands. It's a really great event, and it's never too early to save the date. That's the Glock Store's 4th annual open house, June 1st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. McGill's world-famous Glock Store, minutes from the airport and worth the drive from anywhere. This is Michael Patrick Leahy. Join me every weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on 760 a.m. WENO in Nashville. You know, we are the only America First talk radio station in Nashville, and we have a terrific lineup. From 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., you can listen to The John Frederick Show. From 9 a.m. until 11 a.m., it's Stephen K. Bannon's War Room. And what do we talk about? Well, we talk about the things that Stephen K. Bannon talks about and more. Are you worried about the fact that the United States debt is increasing $1 trillion every 100 days? Yes, it's $34 trillion and growing. Are you worried about the border invasion? Listen to us every weekday morning from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 760 a.m. WENO in Nashville. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy.
This is Michael Patrick Leahy. I want to say a few words about our friends at DT McCall's. This is the place to go if you want appliances, furniture, lawn equipment, or gun safes. They have 5 locations in Middle Tennessee, Franklin, Carthage, Lebanon, Cookeville, and Lafayette, and have been a family-owned business for more than 100 years. We bought our refrigerator and dishwasher from DT McCall's, and these appliances have been great. And the delivery and installation service was just fantastic. By the way, free delivery and haul away of your old appliance or furniture within 125 miles of Carthage. And DT McCall's is one of the top 10 dealers of Cub Cadet lawnmowers in the country. And don't forget, you can get your Liberty gun safes there. That's DT McCall's on the web at dtmccalls.com.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
1:33 p.m. broadcasting live from our studios in downtown Nashville. Just a reminder, all these stories that we talk about, you can see at our flagship news site here in Tennessee, the Tennessee Star, TennesseeStar.com. We've been running, up and running for 7.5 years, bringing you the truth about the news in Tennessee and around the country. Crom? It's that time of day, the time of the week. It's time for Electoral College Roulette. We don't have a theme song yet for it.
Okay, well.
But we will. And there's been, let me just summarize this. There's been no big change in the Electoral College map, but there has been a change in margins in battleground states.
Okay.
Favoring Trump.
Okay.
To the favor of Trump. And right now, Real Clear Politics has a 219-215 Trump with 104 toss-ups. We stick with the Tennessee Star Electoral College map is 235 Trump, 225 Biden with 78 toss-ups. The difference being, of course, we give North Carolina to Trump and we give Minnesota to Biden.
Okay.
Asterisk.
All right.
Guess what?
What?
Donald Trump is winging his way to Minnesota as we speak.
Yes.
And he was actually interviewed by Liz Collin. Liz is with our kind of, not exactly our sister publication, but a friendly publication in Minnesota. They call it Alpha News. You know, we have the Minnesota Sun there. They stole our lead reporter up there, Anthony Gakowski.
Ooh.
I know. But we develop reporters, and they get so good, other outlets want them. And so in Minnesota, kind of the counterpart to the Tennessee Star is a place called Alpha News. Now, they didn't ask us for branding advice.
Okay.
Right? Nothing in their name, Alpha News, nothing says Minnesota, but okay.
Okay.
But they are in the conservative news business, and they were able to obtain, I guess I might call it sort of a Kerry Lake light, a person who'd been in Minnesota local media for a while.
Okay.
Liz Collin.
Okay.
And she's been with them for about a year. She had an exclusive interview yesterday with Donald Trump.
Oh, wow.
And so here it is. We're going to play it for you, right? Liz Collin interviewing Donald Trump, talking about, can he win in Minnesota? Here we go, clip 9.
But Republicans haven't won a statewide race here since 2006. Why do you think you can turn the tide in November, Mr. President?
Because I think, number one, Biden is so bad. He's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroying our country. When you look at the borders where millions of people are coming in, and tremendous hundreds of thousands from prisons and mental institutions and terrorists, they're pouring into our country totally unchecked. You look at that. You look at the fact that he wants to quadruple your taxes, which will be a total killer to the economy. You look at his horrible inflation, which we're going to get down. We're going to reduce energy prices for your state, but for most of the states by more than half. We're going to be able to reduce them, I believe, by 50% at least, and that's going to bring down inflation, and we're going to get back to normal. People are being decimated by inflation. Now, when you look at the mistakes, the Afghanistan situation, where not the pulling out, I was pulling out, but we're going to pull out with pride and dignity and strength. When you look at the way this guy did, it was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country. We've never had a day so embarrassing, in my opinion. And that's what led to Ukraine and Russia, because they looked at us, they said, this is no longer a strong country. And all of a sudden you have Ukraine attack, you have China making noises, and then you have October 7th with Israel, which would have never happened if I were president.
All right, that's a pretty good answer.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it was more of a generic answer.
Yeah.
And then
well, but a lot of the things he talked about, things that would benefit Minnesota, and things that Biden's policies have hurt Minnesota. Both are true.
We have another clip,
okay,
which is more Minnesota specific and more Ilhan Omar specific. She represents, of course, the Somali part of Minneapolis.
Right.
Here we go, clip 11.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was just recently endorsed again by the Democratic Party here in Minnesota over a competitive primary challenger. She's now facing another censure resolution in Congress for her comments targeting Jewish students during a trip to Columbia. Mr. President, do you believe she's serving the people of Minnesota's 5th District well?
Well, she hates Jewish people and she hates Israel. There's no question about that. And I think she does a terrible job. Perhaps there's a little group or a small group in there that likes her and likes that philosophy, but it's not right and it's not good for our country. She's a hater, and she hates at levels that rarely seen before. And, you know, she may be popular in a certain district or a certain area, but I will tell you, nationwide, they're looking at what's happening in her area and, frankly, in your state. It's so unfortunate what's happening. I have the endorsement of just about everybody on the Republican side. I'm going to be there tomorrow night. We're having a big get together, to put it mildly. And Tom Emmer, who's a terrific guy and a real leader, is one of the people that are leading it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But they want law and order. They want respect for police and respect for our military and respect for our firemen and women and all of these things. Our country has just lost its way. It's rudderless now. And you look at what's happening. If we didn't go in, I mean, seriously, take a look at some of the things that happened over the last few years in your state. These things should never happen. And a lot of it's based on hatred.
I know many people looking forward to your visit here tomorrow. Mr. President, want to be respectful of your time. Thank you so much for joining me.
Well, there you go. That's a pretty good interview.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and that's the type of interview that CNN could never have with Trump.
Right.
Because they'd have to be trying to accentuate the negative, and you could do that with absolutely anybody.
Accentuate the negative.
Yeah, that's what they try to do.
We're going to have to get that old song, you know, accentuate the positive.
Yeah,
get a little video clip on that, a little audio.
I mean, that's what they do, and
yeah,
that's why I think that anyway. That was good. I think he'll have a huge crowd in Minnesota.
So I'm going to tell you the bad news about Minnesota.
Okay.
Right now, I don't think Trump's going to win Minnesota.
No, I don't think so either. But going up there, I think it's good that he goes there. I think it was good that he went to New Jersey. I think he'll go back to New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he lost badly in New Jersey last time, I think there are a lot of things in New Jersey that have turned really bad because of Biden's policies. And I think the same thing is true in Minnesota. I mean, we have people now moving here to Nashville from Oregon. And we've always had them. I mean, we had a lot from New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got them now moving from, I mean, Portland is a mess.
Total mess.
And it was such a neat city.
Long time ago.
No, about 10 or 12
years
ago.
In a galaxy far away.
Yeah.
I have the latest polling from Minnesota.
Yeah.
In a general election, just heads up, Trump v. Biden. This from the KSTP Survey USA poll.
Okay.
Margin of error 4.3%, taken May the 8th to May the 11th.
Okay.
Biden 44, Trump 42.
Okay.
That is within the margin of error.
Yeah.
Now, I would say the thing that I think is a little bit interesting about Minnesota, it has the second highest Muslim percentage population in the country. You know, we made the joke about Biden's two-state policy not being, in essence, Michigan and Minnesota.
Right.
Minnesota has a large and growing Somali population.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, Ilhan Omar has been elected from that portion of Minneapolis where there's a very heavy Somali population. I think, though, you look at it, and they're going to have more turnout. They're going to have more turnout, the Muslims in Minneapolis.
Okay.
But I will tell you what's interesting, how close all of these polls are here. The Real Clear Politics average just puts Biden up 2.3%. But the little part of this that could be a curveball is if Robert F. Kennedy Jr. gets on the ballot in Minnesota.
Okay.
Because think about it. In Minnesota, more than most other states, the left is even further left. The percentage of nutcases in Minnesota in the Democrat Party is probably as high as in California.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And so, but the far left, they don't really like Biden. And so they may be looking for an alternative.
Okay.
And in all the battleground states, the polling shows in all the battleground states that Kennedy takes more away from Biden than Trump.
Yeah, in the battleground states.
Not across the country.
No, and
it's mixed there.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter across the country.
Let me give you an example. I'll bet you in Tennessee, Kennedy takes more away from Trump than he does Biden.
I'll make that bet.
Yeah,
I'll make a bet with you.
You agree with me or you disagree?
No, I disagree.
Okay.
He'll take more away from Biden. Would you want to know why?
Why?
Well, look at what's going on in the Democratic Party. You got the Justin Jones nutcases, the neo-Marxists. All those neo-Marxists, they're not going to vote for Trump.
No, I'm
not
not saying
they're going to vote for RFK.
I don't know that they will. What I'm saying is this: Kennedy being on the ballot in states that are very, very red.
Yeah.
Give Republicans who don't particularly like Trump a way to vote in the election.
Okay.
Not vote for Biden, not vote for Trump, and pat themselves on the back.
I understand
the
logic.
And that's all I'm saying is that in the battleground states, Republicans who don't particularly like Trump but want his policies and cannot abide Biden, they won't do a protest vote for Kennedy.
So
they'll vote for Trump.
I understand the logic of that argument.
Okay, you just disagree with it.
I just disagree with that.
But
that's all right.
Yeah, you're allowed.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And it does.
It doesn't matter.
And that's the point that I'm. That's the point I'm
I
trying to make.
I understand your point. Yeah. So we'll see. I still think in the end, Minnesota has the labor unions, the teachers unions. They don't call that their party there. It's not the Democrat Party. It's a Democrat Farm Labor Party.
Right.
So it's just got neo-Marxists everywhere.
Yeah.
And now it's got all the Islamists there that are backing.
But look at that poll. I mean, and that's the real Clear Politic poll, which is an assimilation of all.
May 8th to May 11th, that's just last week.
Right.
4.3% margin of error, 44-42 Biden over Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that's a tie statistically with a 4.3 margin of error. But, look, I will tell you this. Back in 2020, there was a group that we know that said Minnesota, Trump might be able to take it, and they spent a lot of money on it, and it had no effect.
Right now, if you would, that's Minnesota.
Yeah.
What is Michigan?
Michigan is actually it's about a 1-point lead for Trump.
So it's very tight.
Yeah, very tight in Michigan. In fact, we might be able to just squeeze it under the wire here. It's Michigan, Trump versus Biden. The latest New York Times Siena poll, actually Biden by 1.
Okay.
Real Clear Politics average 0.8%.
Okay.
It's narrowed a bit. We don't have the results that show Trump v. Biden v. Kennedy and the other two.
Okay.
And on that note, Crom, that is the Electoral College Roulette.
There we go.
Episode for this week. When we come back, it'll be time for News Potpourri. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy.
Suffer from declining bone and joint health? Hi, it's Tina with the John Fredericks Media Network. And when I heard about our company's Women's Challenge, I jumped on the opportunity to test this amazing supplement that's already restoring my bone density, soothing my joint pain, and helping me regain lost mobility. I've experienced so many benefits in such a short time with Native Path Collagen Peptides because they support my bones and joints, boost my metabolism, and unleash the most radiant skin and hair since my 20s. In just 2 weeks, my knee stiffness is gone, and I'm already hitting the gym more aggressively. And I get so many compliments on my glowy skin and shiny hair. Native Path Collagen Peptides are so easy to take. They're tasteless, odorless, and mix great with my morning coffee. Read thousands of 5-star reviews at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Level up your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today. And get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
In 2008, the amount of concentrated time people could spend on a task without becoming distracted was 12 seconds. 5 years later, it was only 8 seconds, 1 second less than a goldfish. If you're often distracted or have trouble recalling information, you're likely to fall behind in the demanding, fast-paced 21st century. In other words, brain performance is more critical now than ever. Boost your brain power with Healthy Cells Focus Plus Recall. Science-backed nootropics to help you sharpen focus, concentrate longer, enhance recall, improve mental speed, learn rapidly, and be more alert. It's a pill-free brain supplement made with maximum absorption ingestible gel technology, designed to feed your brain at the cellular level. Take it for a test drive. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of Focus Plus Recall. That's healthycell.com, code GODZILLA for 20% off.
This is Crom Carmichael, CEO of Soul Tea. Our cardiovascular system is just amazing. Our bodies have over 100,000 miles of veins and arteries. Our heart pumps 2,500 gallons of blood through our bodies every day. Our heart beats 100,000 times every day. Taking care of our heart and cardiovascular system is key to having a healthy life well into our 80s. If you have a weak heart, you're tired, you're weak. Life is not fun. I'm 75 years old and take 0 prescription drugs. I've been taking Soul Tea's active ingredient for over 20 years. I hope you will start taking care of yourself today by going to GodzillaHeart.com and start taking Soul Tea today. Use the code Godzilla at checkout to get our best offer, which is 50% off your first shipment and 3 bottles for the price of 2 thereafter. Please start taking care of yourself today.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back. It is 1:50 p.m. We're broadcasting live from our studios in downtown Nashville. Crom, we're going to wrap up the week with this edition of News Potpourri. You know, Crom, News Potpourri, this is the portion program where we talk about those stories that are of note, don't necessarily merit a full segment, and have a touch of
irony. I thought I'm supposed to say that. You got it.
Do we have some music? There we go.
Well, I've already said it.
There you go.
Yeah, you've already said my line.
I said
said
your line.
Yes, you said my line. So I'll say irony. Okay, well, anyway, News Potpourri. Here we go.
I did that a little differently.
Yeah, a little differently. Kind of confused me, but that's okay. It's not the first time. Now, this is a great headline here, and it's sign of the times. Sign of the times.
Sign of the times.
148 House Democrats vote against a bill called Detain and Deport Illegal Aliens Who Assault Cops Act.
You know what that's about?
So if you assault a police officer and you're an illegal alien, there are 148 Democrats who will try to protect you.
I got a couple golf stories for you.
Please.
You're a golfer. You
yes,
like golfing?
Kind of. Yeah, yes, I love the game.
So Scotty Scheffler this morning was arrested for kind of running past the barrier to get into the country club up in Louisville where they're holding the PGA, a big kerfuffle. But hadn't hurt his game. He is 4 under par through 13 holes, and now he is just 4 strokes off the lead. He's gone up 8th. He's in 4th place right now.
Okay.
That's one golf story.
All right.
Got another one.
All right.
Augusta National.
Yes.
They hold the Master.
Yes.
The employee there, stole Arnold Palmer's green jacket.
Oh. Well, I got it back.
They got it back.
All right.
He's
Well,
going to be
good.
arrested,
I tell you.
charged, etc.
Yep. This is an interesting one. I'm going to read kind of the first 2 paragraphs, very short. Last summer, transgender woman Dylan Mulvaney fled to Peru to feel safe amid all the controversy surrounding him in the States. The next paragraph. Nearly a year later, Peru has officially classified transgender people as mentally ill, making the country not so safe anymore for Mulvaney. So it's just interesting. It's interesting now. And by the way, that's, Peru is a Latino. It's 100% Latino, or certainly 95% Latino. And so the values in South America are not in keeping with the hardcore leftist crazy nuts here in the U.S.
I got one for you.
Please?
Last night on Jesse Waters on Fox News, he had a segment called Where Did Joe Biden's Money Go? So they got to do these annual reports of how much cash they have on hand personally.
Okay.
So he had $2 million on hand in 2022. He's down to $1.4 million in 2023.
Okay.
Where did that money go?
That's a good question. In a related question, Hunter Biden's had a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
Paying his legal bills out of California.
Right.
And that guy has more or less publicly announced, I'm tapped out.
Yeah.
I can't provide over $10 million.
Oh, yeah.
Over $10 million is what he's...
And he's paying Abby Lowell very high price,
Yeah.
$2,000 an hour.
Yeah, some ridiculous amount.
I predict, I'll put my Nostradamus hat, Abby Lowell is going to exit the case because he wants money.
Well,
No,
that would be very interesting. If
Yeah.
I don't think you can leave the case over money. I don't think you're allowed to ethically.
I guess we'll
Of course,
find out.
of course, we don't know whether or not he has the
Ethically.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I just trapped myself, didn't I? George Stephanopoulos drops $80 million on a pre-election censorship scheme to silence Americans. Here's the report here.
George Stephanopoulos?
Excuse me, George Soros.
It's hard to tell.
I'm sorry, George Soros.
They're different versions of the same guy.
One's older and, yeah. But I'm going to quote here. The same week, the U.S. Department of Justice convening its election threat task force, Vasquez has highlighted a press release from the organization that in turn pointed to an April 9th letter co-signed by more than 200 groups directed at executives of Google, Instagram, Meta, TikTok, YouTube, X, and Rumble, trying to get them to suppress speech. Now, somehow a private citizen, I don't care how much money they have, trying to do that, somehow that seems like it's wrong from a not just an ethical standpoint, but perhaps a legal standpoint, at least perhaps civilly. This one, poor Mitt Romney, he just is lost. Mitt Romney's out of the news, and so in order to get back in the news, he put on his French hat, having been Pierre Delecto previously, and he now is taking cheap shots at Republicans who show up at Trump's trial. Now, and then he tries to be funny at the end, and he tries to say that these are just two old men running for office. Well, hell, Mitt Romney is 77 years old.
He's an old man.
So he is an old man, but sees himself as fully capable of being president, but never will be. This one's an interesting headline here. Aides feel Biden's frail brain can't handle the psychological torment of the Hunter Biden trial. The Hunter Biden trial starts in June, next month, over this gun possession, and then he has a income tax evasion trial in apparently California. I don't know if that's
Joe,
federal.
What's the source on that story?
BizPac Review.
BizPac Review?
Yeah, and they're saying Democrats are doing everything they can to make sure President Joe Biden doesn't die before the election day. This means doing their best to coddle the 81-year-old president it goes on to say they're particularly worried about the psychological torment of Hunter Biden going on trial, because the trial in Delaware is over the gun issue.
Right.
It's a slam dunk.
He's guilty.
He is guilty.
He lied.
It is a slam.
It's not a felony, though, is it? A misdemeanor?
It doesn't matter. If he's found guilty, then he's still found guilty, and I don't know how he gets out of being found guilty. The tax evasion case, on the other hand, is a much bigger issue.
Well, he clearly evaded taxes.
Well, I'm saying I haven't seen the records, but the prosecutor has.
Yeah.
And I don't think would be bringing charges if they didn't have the records. This headline: the Chicago Teachers Union plays hooky. Now, the Chicago public schools are terrible. They are terrible. But now some of them are going on strike because they want a huge pay increase.
Big.
Huge pay
like
increase.
$140,000 a year for average salary.
Yeah, and in Chicago, the city's broke, the state is broke. But here's the thing that's so fascinating
30
about
seconds.
it. Yeah. Mrs. Gates is head of the public employee union. She sends her own son to a private school.
Of course, because she wants them to actually be educated.
Yes.
And on that note, Crom Carmichael.
Have a great weekend.
A strong week.
You
and
bet.
We'll see you on Monday. Don't forget Stephen K. Bannon from 4 to 6 today. I'll be back tomorrow morning. No, I won't. I'll be back Monday morning. I don't. That was bad. I'll be back Monday morning from 11 to 2. I hope you have a great weekend. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy. The Chief Team reminds listeners here that more and more veterans will be returning home over the next few years, and many are local. These heroes have elite military training and valuable professional skills, but they also need jobs too. That's why the Chief Team is encouraging all local businesses. Let's make it the year we hire smart and hire veterans. That's from the Chief Team, where they say service isn't just a courtesy, it's a commitment. For more information, call 931-444-3572. That's 931-444-3572 for the Chief Team in Clarksville.
This is Michael Patrick Leahy. If you want a really great haircut, I recommend Refined Men's Salon of Cool Springs. My friend Julie White owns Refined Men's Salon of Cool Springs, and she's cut my hair for years. Julie, what's the secret to a great haircut?
Having the passion to form it into the head shape of your client, and so they can have a nice, easy style every morning.
Well, an easy style. I like that, Julie. And so if people want to go and find out where Refined Men's Salon of Cool Springs is, just do a Google search of Refined Men's Salon of Cool Springs, and you can book an appointment with Julie online right now. Where are you located, Julie?
330 Mayfield Drive, Suite A5, Unit 106.
In Franklin, Tennessee. You can call 615-219-0188 to book an appointment. That's 615-219-0188.
The Black preaching tradition is deeply connected to gospel music.
PBS presents a new series hosted by Henry Louis Gates Jr., Gospel.
Our singers preach and our preachers sing.
Gospel is a prayer. It is our heart's cry to God in lyrics and song.
You feel it deep down in your soul.
Gospel. Streaming now on the PBS app.